Okay, let us go to find the moment of inertia of a ring. Moment of inertia of a ring. But around which axis? You need to specify the axis of rotation. The moment of inertia of a ring around, about an axis passing through center and perpendicular to its plane. So we want to find the moment of inertia of a ring about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to the plane. So let us see how to find it. Consider a ring a thin ring. By ring, what we mean is thin ring. Should remember this. By ring, we mean thin ring, such that the thickness is negligible. The thickness of the ring is negligible. So you have a ring. The thickness of the ring is negligible. Okay. The axis of rotation is here. Passing through the center and perpendicular to the plane. Now you can see that you can break this ring into small parts, because this is a continuous object. You can break it into small parts. Let us break it. Let us take a small, infinitesimally small part here, which is having a mass dm, which is situated at a distance of r from the center, and we need to find the moment of inertia of this ring. So the moment of inertia is given by the moment of inertia contributed by this small mass dm, di is given by mass into distance square from the axis of rotation. So the total moment of inertia of the ring will be equal to integral of all the small di's contributed by all the small dm's throughout the ring. So you have to take a closed path integral here. That would give you dm into r square. Now you can take all the r square common and you will get the closed path integral of all the dm's. If you were to add all the dm's, all the infinitesimally small masses throughout the ring, you will get the entire mass of the ring. So you got m r square. Hey, you may have taken this as capital R. That will not change anything. Let us take this as capital R. Capital R square, capital R square, capital R square. This also capital R square. So therefore, the moment of inertia of the ring about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to the plane is given by I equals mr square. It is same like an object, like a point particle moving around a fixed axis, rotating around a fixed axis. Same like a point particle. And in fact, you can imagine the ring to be made up of small point particles, infinitesimally small masses placed along the circumference of a circle, which will give you a ring. Okay, now we will find the moment of inertia of a disk about an axis passing through the center and perpendicular to its plane. So we need to find the moment of inertia of a disk. What is a disk? Disk is an object same like a ring, but it is not hollow, it is filled throughout. Means it is filled like this. You will see that it is filled up with material. Okay, so for time being we will rub this. You have to assume that it is filled up with material, and you have a disk. and this is your axis of rotation around which the disk is rotating. And we need to find the moment of inertia of this disk. So what we are going to do is we are going to break the disk into small rings, in small rings. So let us see how to do this. We will break this disk into a small ring, infinitesimally small ring, or the ring will be having an infinitesimally small mass. So let us consider at a distance of r there is a ring. And the ring has some thickness also. The thickness is negligible. We are considering a thin ring. This ring has a thickness of dr, and the distance of the ring from the center of the circle is r. The distance of the ring from the center of the circle is r. From the center of the disk is r, small r. The radius of the disk is capital R. Okay. So what will be the moment of inertia of this ring? The moment of inertia of this ring will be the mass of the ring, which we will take it as dm, small, infinitesimally small mass dm, times the distance square. The distance of the ring is r. We will take this as r square. So the net I will be given by integral of small di's from r equals 0 to r is equal to capital R, from r is equal to 0 to r is equal to capital R. But we need to find that how dm changes with r. How this small mass, infinitesimally massive ring will change its mass when it goes from r is equal to 0 to r is equal to r. And for that we will be using the concept of mass density. So this sigma is defined as mass per unit area. So let the mass of the disk be m. Let the mass of the disk be capital M. So mass per area of the disk, and the area of the disk, let it be, you can find it, the area is pi r square because it is circular. Sigma is defined as mass per unit area, mass per unit area. And we are assuming that the disk is homogeneous, and since the disk is homogeneous, the mass distribution is even throughout, and hence you can find the hence you can say that the mass per unit area of the entire disk and this ring, this small ring, will be same. So we will equate this to mass per unit area of the entire disk and the mass per unit area of the ring. Mass per unit area of the ring will be the mass of the ring divided by the area of that ring. How much area has the ring occupied? The ring has occupied an area of, how to find the area of a ring? Thin ring. See, if you have a thin ring like this, whose thickness is dr, and the radius is r. So what you do is you take 2 pi r, take the circumference and multiply it with thickness, which is dr. You will get the area of the ring. You will get the area of this ring. This is the way of finding the area of a thin ring. Take the circumference, multiply it with dr. You can see that the dimensions are matching. The dimension of area here will be meter and meter square, which is matching. There is another way of finding this. If you want, I can explain you, but that would take time, of proving that why the area of this thin ring is 2 pi r dr. But this is intuitive, I think, and you can understand it, that the area is 2 pi r dr. So from here you can cancel pi, take dm here, send these things there, you will get 2m by r square r dr. Take this and substitute here. So what you get, see, you get therefore I equals integral from r is equal to 0 to r is equal to capital R, because your ring is going from r is equal to 0 and you need to extend it till the radius of the disk, taking all the small infinitesimally small rings. So you will get 2 mr, this is equal to dm r square, and you know what is dm here is 2 mr by r square, 2 mr by r square into r square dr. So you can take 2m by r square common, r into r square becomes r cube dr, integral goes from r is equal to 0 to r is equal to r. Now you can use the integration of r cube dr as r raised to 4 by r raised to 4 by 4. See how? You people know that the integral of x raised to n dx is x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So therefore, if you integrate x raised to 3 dx, you get x raised to 3 plus 1, which is 4 divided by 4. So I'll use this here and I'll be getting r raised to 4 divided by 4 and putting the limits, upper and the lower limits here. So if you put the upper limit, you will get r raised to 4 by 4. If you put the lower limit, you will get 0. So that becomes 2m by r square, r raised to 4 by 4. Cancelling this, 2 1s are, 2 2s are, and r square and r raised to 4 will give you r raised to 2. And finally you got I equals mr square by 2. So the moment of inertia of a disk about an axis passing through the center and perpendicular to its plane is given by mr square by 2.